Memorials usually honor sacrifice, to be sure, but they can be more, because without context they can turn into faded stone with worn letters that no longer speak to future generations. At the Philadelphia Vietnam Veterans Memorial, our vision is that the sacrifice of the 648 calls for context about the war. For more than a decade, we've looked for how monuments could help us tell that story. The completion of the National Vietnam POW MIA Monument we dedicate today brings that vision full circle. The return of the POWs in 1973 was the beginning of the end and became burned into the national consciousness. To mark this event, the Memorial Board some 30 months ago launched a campaign to build the monument. We started with a fundraising page and held simulated horse races, passed the hat at Eagles tailgate parties, reached out to veterans groups, individuals, and generous corporate partners. Eventually, we raised nearly $200,000 to complete the monument you'll see here today. At the heart of this effort was Pat Mitchell, board member and chair of the POW MIA committee. Board members and supporters pitched in, and soon we were on our way. We were helped by Norristown architect Doug Seiler, whose unique design tells the POW MIA story to this and future generations, and is a story of unresolved loss and is intended to convey a timeless message. The first element of the monument is the idea of confinement, expressed by a curved stockade of stepped granite blocks that are a reference to the crude enclosures where POWs were kept. Within the stockade lays a field of broken granite pavers that represents individual anguish and suffering. Separation is the second element, conveyed by a low wall of rough granite, topped by a bronze railing, behind which visitors stand to observe the memorial. The railing is designed to recall the barbed wire of the POW MIA signal. The third element is a POW MIA flag that stands alone within the field of broken pavers and represents the solitary plight of POWs and the missing. The fourth element is an inscription on granite that stands between the observer and the flag and tells the story of the POW MIA experience. The last element is a black stone which was chosen to convey a depth of meaning and to visually tie the POW MIA monument back to the overall Vietnam Memorial's wall of names and communicate an understanding of and respect for the sacrifices of those involved. Having previously raised nearly $2 million to open and refurbish the memorial, sources were tapped out, but that didn't deter Jim Curry of Owner's Rep and Bob Green for starting work as the money trickled in. Granite was a major expense, but with the help of a local contractor, it was sourced from India, and then the puzzle was put together to realize Doug's design. The result is a national monument in the hope that this was the last major war involving so many prisoners and missing service members. The recent health crisis left us unable to install the railing, but that will be done as soon as possible. We are pleased to offer this monument, and besides honoring sacrifice, we hope that it will provide some comfort to the families of the missing, including those 10 from Philadelphia. Here's Ralph Galati, former prisoner of the infamous Hanoi Hilton, with his remarks on today's dedication.
Welcome to the Philadelphia Vietnam Veterans Memorial. My name is Ralph Galati. I'm a former United States Air Force officer, Vietnam veteran, and former prisoner of war, spending time at the infamous Hanoi Hilton. We're here today to dedicate this POW MIA monument. It is amazing that after 50 years, this silhouette and flag are so visible and recognizable. We are called to remember our more than 81,000 service members who are still missing from us. The Department of Defense has a POW MIA accounting agency that its mission is to provide the fullest possible accounting for our missing personnel from past conflicts. They travel around the world, searching for the remains of the missing. They excavate, repatriate, identify, and then return these souls to their families, all in a most dignified manner, truly respectful of these American heroes. I am a lucky guy. I'm able to be with you today, and this ceremony is a vivid reminder of our commitment to a full accounting of our missing. So to all of you living by the creed, you will not be forgotten. Thank you for remembering.